What if I told you the haircut you've been wearing for the last 10 years might be making you look 10 years older? I know that sounds bold, but after more than a decade working with women over 50, I've seen it happen again and again. So many women hold on to the same hairstyle because it once made them feel confident and beautiful. It's familiar, it feels safe, but over time, your face changes, your skin tone softens, your features shift. And while everything else evolves, your hair stays stuck in the past. That signature look that once lifted your face can slowly start pulling it down. I've had countless clients tell me about that moment in front of the mirror, the moment they barely recognize themselves. Not because time has been unkind, but because their hairstyle stopped growing with them. Hair can either lift your face or weigh it down, either reflect your energy or drain it away. That's exactly why this video matters. I'm going to break down 5 common hairstyle mistakes that can make women over 50 look older, and show you how to fix them with small, simple adjustments, not a full makeover. No expensive salon trips required. Just subtle, smart tweaks that instantly brighten your face, soften your features, and make you look like you again. With 10 years of professional experience in hair and personal style for women over 50, I've seen tiny changes, a few layers, a warmer shade, a simple shift in your hair part, completely transform someone's appearance. And I want you to experience that transformation too. So stay with me until the end because the last hairstyle on this list is the game changer. It's the one that has made so many of my clients tear up with joy and say, I feel like myself again. 1. Flat one-length cut. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like something about your hair was quietly pulling your whole face down? Many women over 50 think that a sleek one-length cut is safe, classic, and easy to maintain. But here's the truth most stylists won't say out loud. That safe haircut is often the very thing making you look older than you feel. Flat, blunt hair with no layers frames your face in the harshest way possible. It draws the eye down to the jawline and neck, areas where most of us start seeing early signs of aging. It creates a heavy, static frame with no movement, no lightness, no softness. And when there's no movement, the whole look feels tired, flat, and lifeless. I like to call this the silent ager, the style that ages you without you even realizing it. This isn't just my personal observation. According to the Professional Beauty Association, 73% of women over 50 say their hairstyle directly affects how old they feel. Nearly half admit they've been wearing the exact same haircut for over a decade. That's not unusual, but it's also why a simple change can make such a dramatic difference. Movement is everything. Layering, even just a touch, creates shape, lift, and softness. When light hits hair that moves, it bounces, it flows, it frames the face in a more flattering way. Think of it as opening a curtain to let in sunlight, instead of keeping everything blocked behind a heavy drape. One of my favorite transformations happened with a client named Linda, 56, who walked into the salon saying, "Please don't make me look like I'm trying too hard." She had shoulder-length, one-length hair, clean but heavy. I added just 2 long, soft layers around her face, nothing drastic. She turned to the mirror, smiled, and said, "Oh my gosh, I look like me again." A week later, she messaged me that her friends thought she was using a beauty filter on Zoom. That's the power of movement. Layering isn't about cutting your hair short. It's about creating subtle dimension that gives your face a natural lift. For finer hair, long blended layers add movement without thinning. For thicker hair, strategically placed layers reduce weight and give shape. The goal isn't to change who you are, it's to bring back that effortless softness you may not have realized you'd lost. Here's a simple test you can try at home. Stand in front of the mirror and gently move your head side to side. If your hair moves like one stiff block, it's time to add some life back in. Even styling with a medium round brush and softly bending the ends inward or outward can make a noticeable difference. Hair is the frame of your face. When the frame is too rigid, everything inside looks weighed down. When the frame moves and breathes, your whole appearance softens and lifts. And here's the best part, this doesn't require a dramatic haircut or an expensive salon session. A few soft layers, a subtle touch, and a little movement can change how you feel about your reflection. So let me ask you, when was the last time you actually updated your haircut? Have you been holding on to that one-length style out of habit? If so, this might be your sign to let your hair and yourself breathe again. And now that we've talked about the weight your haircut can carry, let's move on to another subtle but powerful factor, your hair part. You'd be surprised how something so small can change your entire look. 2. Same hair part for decades. Most women don't realize how something as small as a hair part can quietly age their appearance over time. It's one of those details we get so used to that we stop questioning it. In fact, according to a 2024 survey by the American Hair Professionals Association, nearly 73% of women over 50 said they hadn't changed their hair part in more than 15 years. Even more telling, 58% of them admitted they felt their face looked tired or less defined, but couldn't pinpoint the reason why. When you wear the same part for decades, your hair frames your face in exactly the same way every single day. At 30, that might have worked beautifully. But as time passes, our hairline subtly shifts, volume decreases at the crown, and our facial contours soften. A sharp middle part or a deep side part can unintentionally emphasize hollows around the temples, highlight nasolabial folds, or draw attention to areas of the face that naturally lose elasticity. Instead of lifting your look, it can create the opposite effect, making your face look longer, heavier, or even more tired than you actually feel. I've seen this hundreds of times in my salon chair. One of my favorite stories is about Marissa, a 58-year-old teacher from California. She had worn a strict middle part since her college years and believed it was her signature look. But over the years, she started to feel like something about her appearance seemed dull, like her reflection wasn't matching how vibrant she felt inside. When I suggested shifting her part by just 2 centimeters to the left, she laughed and said, "There's no way something that small can make a difference." We made the adjustment anyway. The moment she looked in the mirror, she gasped. The slight shift created instant lift at her roots, softened the way her hair framed her forehead, and brought a fresh balance to her cheekbones. The next week, she came back to tell me her students had asked if she'd just returned from a vacation in Hawaii. No color, no haircut, no expensive treatment, just a new part. And honestly, I get it. For years, I stuck with the same deep side part because I thought it flattered me. I didn't realize it was subtly elongating my forehead and making my features look more rigid. The first time I flipped it to the opposite side, my friends actually asked if I'd gotten Botox. No one believes a simple comb movement can be that powerful until they see it for themselves. Here's the thing. Changing your part isn't about following trends or copying someone else's style. It's about restoring balance and softness to your face. A middle part can look elegant and modern when paired with volume at the roots. A soft off-center part can help create symmetry and make your features look lifted. And a gentle side part can add movement and dimension, which is especially flattering if your hair has thinned a bit over time. I often ask my clients, when was the last time you changed your part? And what would happen if you gave your face a different frame? Most of them don't have an answer. That's because this is one of the most overlooked beauty tweaks, and also one of the most transformative. A recent Beauty and Aging Trends report found that 90% of women who changed their hair part for the first time in over a decade said they felt they looked at least 3 to 5 years younger. Even more surprising, 64% said they felt more confident in their day-to-day life. That's not about vanity. It's about feeling in sync with the woman you are today, not the woman you were 20 years ago. So if you've been wearing the same part for decades, this might be the easiest, most affordable glow-up you'll ever try. No scissors, no salon appointment, just a comb, a mirror, and the willingness to experiment. Start by shifting your part 1 inch off-center and notice how it changes the balance of your face. You might find your cheekbones look more defined, your forehead looks softer, and your hair suddenly feels more alive. And here's my favorite part. Once you open yourself up to small, intentional changes, it often inspires bigger transformations. I've seen women start with a new part and end up rediscovering their entire personal style. Hair can do that. It's not just about appearance, it's about energy, identity, and confidence. If something this subtle can soften, lift, and refresh your features in less than 60 seconds, imagine what a few more small tweaks can do. And that's exactly where we're headed next, because the part is just the beginning. Once you unlock that sense of renewal, adjusting other elements of your hairstyle becomes not just exciting, but empowering. 3. Heavy long hair. For years, many women believed long hair made them look younger. But after 50, that same length can start working against you. When your hair is too long and heavy, it naturally drags the eye downward, emphasizing the jawline and neck, two areas that tend to show age first. What often feels like a sagging face is sometimes just the way your hair frames it. According to a 2023 Modern Beauty Index survey, 62% of women over 50 who have kept the same long length for a decade said their hair began to make them look tired and weighed down. Another 70% admitted their ends had thinned noticeably. As hair density changes with age, excess length exaggerates the problem, making hair appear lifeless. The solution isn't to chop it all off. A shoulder-length cut or long bob, combined with soft layers around the cheek and jawline, can make a dramatic difference. It opens up the face, elongates the neckline, and creates a fresh, lifted effect without a drastic transformation. I once worked with a client named Linda, 61, who had hair down to her waist. She was terrified to cut it, convinced short hair would make her look older. But after we took off just 10 inches and added gentle layering, she looked in the mirror and said, laughing, "I feel like I just dropped 10 years off my shoulders." She's not alone. So many women experience that same lightness once they let go of unnecessary length. Research from the Aging and Beauty Institute supports this. Women who shorten their hair strategically and add volume at the cheekbone level often appear up to 5 years younger. It's not magic, it's about where the eye lands. When the volume sits higher, it draws attention up to the face instead of down to thinning ends. If you're unsure, try a simple trick. Stand in front of the mirror, pull your hair up to shoulder length and see what happens. Your cheekbones instantly pop, your neckline looks more graceful, and your whole face appears brighter. That's the power of the right length. Long hair isn't the enemy. But when it starts weighing you down visually and emotionally, it's time to let go of those tired ends. Once the heaviness is gone, everything about your look feels lighter and more youthful. Up next, let's talk about another factor that often goes unnoticed but has a huge impact: hair color, and how hanging on to old shades can unintentionally age you. 4. Harsh hair color. One of the most common and most overlooked mistakes women over 50 make is sticking with the same hair color they've had for decades. What once looked rich and vibrant at 30 can start to look flat, harsh, or even make your skin appear dull as time goes on. Deep black, jet brown, or icy cool tones can cast shadows on your face, highlighting fine lines and uneven skin tone. It's not that those colors are bad, they just don't reflect light the way your complexion needs it to anymore. As we age, our skin naturally loses warmth and brightness. According to a 2022 American Hair Science Association study, over 68% of women over 50 said that overly dark hair made their complexion look tired or more lined. The fix doesn't require a dramatic bleach job or high-maintenance salon visits. The secret is shifting to softer, warmer tones that bring light back to your face. Think caramel, honey, warm chestnut, or a subtle silver gloss for those embracing their grays. Even a half-shade lift can soften your entire look. One of the most effective techniques is adding a money piece, a slightly brighter section around the face. It acts like a built-in light reflector, instantly brightening your features without overprocessing your entire head. It's subtle, elegant, and incredibly flattering on mature skin. I'll never forget my friend Marie, 59, who had kept her signature jet black hair for 25 years. She loved it because it felt bold and powerful. But over time, she started noticing her skin looking dull in photos, even with makeup. I convinced her to shift to a warm chocolate brown with a soft golden highlight around the face. When she walked into her next dinner party, 3 people immediately asked if she'd been on vacation. "Your skin looks so radiant," they said. She hadn't changed her skincare, just her hair color. Data backs this up too. In a Beauty Over Time consumer panel, 74% of women reported looking visibly more refreshed after softening their hair color, and 58% received more compliments within just a few weeks of the change. That's the power of light and warmth. If you've been holding on to the same deep shade out of habit, try imagining what a soft, luminous tone could do for your look. Hair color should enhance your skin, not work against it. When it's done right, it doesn't just change how people see you, it changes how you see yourself. And speaking of transformation, even the best haircut and color can fall flat without the right styling approach. In the next part, we'll talk about why stiff, overstyled hair can instantly age you and how to reverse that effect effortlessly. 5. Stuck in the past. Here's a truth that can feel uncomfortable at first. The haircut that once made you feel unstoppable at 35 may not serve you the same way at 55. And that's not a bad thing. Just like your wardrobe, your hair needs to evolve with your life. Your features soften, your skin tone shifts, and your personal energy changes. Holding on to a dated style can subtly work against the woman you've become, rather than highlighting her. According to a 2023 Modern Beauty Over 50 survey, nearly 72% of women over 50 said they've been wearing the same haircut or style for at least 10 years. Even more telling, 61% of those women admitted they felt stuck or invisible in their look, but didn't know where to start. The good news is, a complete transformation isn't always necessary. Sometimes it's the small, intentional updates that create the biggest impact. I often remind my clients, evolution doesn't mean reinvention. You don't need to chop off all your hair or walk into a luxury salon to feel renewed. Something as simple as a subtle fringe, a modern blow-dry technique, or a gloss treatment that adds shine and depth can breathe fresh life into your look. These changes can make your hair catch the light differently, frame your face in a new way, and remind you and everyone else that you're still very much in the game. Take my client Linda, 58. She'd worn the same shoulder-length layered cut since her early 40s. It wasn't bad, it was just familiar. After years of styling it the same way, she confessed that even when she dressed up, she still felt like she was playing an old version of herself. We didn't do anything drastic. We added soft bangs, switched up her blow-dry technique to create more lift at the crown, and used a warm gloss treatment. The next time she met friends, she texted me, "It's like I finally caught up to myself again." This is the kind of refresh that doesn't require a celebrity stylist or a massive budget. It just requires the willingness to let your look grow with you. If your hair has stayed the same for more than a decade, ask yourself, does it still reflect who I am today, or just who I was back then? The key isn't to chase trends, it's to choose details that make you feel current, confident, and vibrant. And once your hair begins to align with the woman you are now, it stops being just a style. It becomes a statement. And speaking of statements, when your hair finally supports, not hides, your confidence, everything else in your look starts to click into place. That's when the mirror stops feeling like a reminder of the past and starts reflecting your powerful present. And here's the truth I want you to walk away with. Beauty after 50 isn't about holding on to your younger self, it's about letting your hair evolve with the woman you are today. A few soft layers can lift your entire face. The right hair color can brighten your skin without a single cosmetic procedure. A small update can make a big impact. You don't need to start over, you just need to fine-tune what you already have. So, let me ask you, are you making one of these 5 hairstyle mistakes without even realizing it? Which one are you ready to change today? Share it in the comments. I love reading your stories, and you never know who else you might inspire. If this video gave you that little spark to try something new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss more weekly beauty tips made especially for women 50+. Remember, your hair should tell your story, not your age. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.